A vital win for Sheffield United. Arsenal were their own worst enemies at times this evening. Back-to-back wins as well for Crystal Palace. As you can see, plenty of games coming your way tomorrow. This is what it means for the Premier League table. A really good night for the goal difference as far as Manchester United are concerned. Of course, Manchester City still have two in hand over the top there, you can see. Liverpool will be in action later in the week and they will hope to close the gap. Arsenal's good run lifted them into the top half, however they were beaten this evening. In the bottom half, Crystal Palace, you can see them sitting there 13th. A disappointing night for Newcastle, who had a good result at the weekend. And Sheffield United are fighting hard to stay up in the Premier League. So that's what's happened this evening. This is what's still to come. Manchester City will look to respond tomorrow evening here on BT Sport from 5:30 after United to win tonight. And then we've got Fulham against Leicester. They had a bad weekend, didn't they, Leicester? They will look to react to that. Leeds against Everton looks like a great game, actually. Liverpool will look to close the gap at home to Brighton. And it's Aston Villa up against Champions League chasing West Ham United. When did we last say that? They're sitting fifth in the Premier League at the moment. Look, gents, what a funny old night. We've sat here and we've seen some genuine drama, some amazing moments, but the whole thing just feels flat and strange with these decisions being made the way they are now, Glenn.
Yes, it is difficult, isn't it? And the time it takes. I think they need to take their time and have a look at it. I'm not too worried about that. But, yeah, it's confusing. It's confusing because sometimes, even when you watch it from slow motion, and VAR must have the same problem, they're taking so much, they're looking at fractions, and on certain occasions, there's only two people in the stadium that know whether there was contact or not. And that's the two players involved sometimes. So it's very, very difficult for them. I just think we've got to really rethink the VAR situation. If we're pontificating over fractions of offsides and things like that, we don't know when the ball's being played, when it's actually contact on the ball. If it's like, was he touched? Was he not touched? The one thing that's come out of this for me, Rio, we were speaking about, if you're a defender back in there watching now and you watch this again, you've got to try and make a tackle. You don't try and stay on your feet and let the fella go.
You're talking about the penalties,
yeah,
both
the
David Luiz one and
David Luiz,
one,
both of them. You have to make the tackle. That gets you a yellow card instead of a red. Yeah. There's got to be something wrong there. It's got to be something wrong.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
As a defender, I'm now sitting there and saying, whatever happens, when I'm in that box, I absolutely have to go through the man, smash the player, because I can't leave anything to doubt. I can't leave any uncertainty and leave it to Stockley Park or the man on the park with a whistle.
And for people at home wondering why, this is because if you don't make an attempt to play the ball in that situation,
you get sent off.
You get sent off.
Yeah, so the double jeopardy comes into that. So it is so confusing. And what is a big thing that come out today, which I'm not surprised about, and we've seen many times this season, but once again, players looking absolutely confused on the pitch as to what, how, where, who. Football can't be like that. Football forever was black and white. We knew where we stood. Right now, there's so much confusion.
We've just seen a record-equaling scoreline, 9-0 in a Premier League game, and we are sitting here talking about minute decisions made hundreds of miles away from the game of football. Is that the future?
Yeah, because there's a new rule or a new understanding of a rule that comes out every single week now. So it kind of takes away from... We're sitting here a 9-0 game. It's an unbelievable game in that sense.
It's clear and obvious that we brought VAR in, and I was for VAR, but not for fractions and these decisions. On-field decisions, let them continue with the on-field. Let them go over to the screen and have a look, and let them make the decisions. But when it's clear and obvious that it's offside or not offside or him, that is where we're getting ourselves in trouble.
OK. Strange old night, wasn't it? However, Manchester United will be delighted. Let's get some reaction. Marcus Rashford is with Des.
Marcus, that was clinical, it was unforgiving, it's a record win as well. It equals the 26-year record of 9-0 against Ipswich, so a fantastic night.
Yeah, it's always good to score lots of goals. And yeah, we're just happy, it's 3 points that we've needed. We've dropped some points in the last few games. And we needed to get back to winning ways, so today was a brilliant opportunity to do that.
It looked like the strikers were going to make a statement tonight. I mean, and it can be a puzzle when you come up against 10 and eventually 9 men, but the movement and everything you're doing was actually making it much simpler for yourselves tonight. Yeah,
that's it. Just be as simple as possible, keep moving, and just be positive. It's easy to take your foot off the gas and just keep possession, but we wanted to go out in the second half and score more goals, and the lads did that in the second half.
Yeah, you dismantled Southampton. Some sympathy for them from us, but no sympathy for the red card. That could have been very serious at the start of the game.
Yeah, it's a challenge. I think he's quite unlucky. I don't think he's meant it in a nasty way. but he's just a little bit late there, and Scotty's felt the consequences of that. But yeah, I think it was a red card, but unfortunate for the young player.
The first half was merciless though, 4-0 at half-time. There were threats everywhere.
Yeah, I think the first half really set the tone for us. From there, when we come in at half-time, it's just about keeping the right mentality and a positive attitude, really, and going to finish the game and score more goals.
And you passed Eric Cantona on the United all-time list of goal scorers, and that's a pretty impressive list to be on. And of course, a player that has been revered by United fans through the years. Yeah,
he's obviously a top player that's done a lot for this club. So yeah, I'm pleased to go past him today, and for me, I just want to score more goals and keep helping the team.
We saw the hunger of the team, but it was essential to respond, wasn't it? City are charging, Liverpool are getting back on track too.
Yeah, but we have to not look at them and we focus on ourselves. We're a team that's still improving. We're not a team that's been a ready-made team for the last 2 or 3 years. I think we're just getting there now, and we're still learning a lot as a group. So we have to concentrate on ourselves and just keep improving and working on ourselves.
I want to change tack a little bit, because we saw a statement on the front of the programme tonight. The United team united against racism. It's important to speak out, because players are being targeted. Yeah. Players are having to put up with some just unforgivable abuse.
Yeah, it's something that's happening, and as much as we try and make it look like a sport that is full of positives, which for me growing up, that's what I always seen football as. It was a sport where people can express themselves and just be themselves on the pitch. And it's disappointing when things like this happen in football, but the reality of it is that it's happening, and we all have to stand up and be heard, really. And that's all I can really say on it. I think only time will tell if the situation improves. But as for the time being, it's not really improved over the last few years.